Okay. We got a live streaming dashboard. Hello. We got. There you go. All right, audio check, mic check. We're on a new computer today. Hello. Where the heck is it? Anyone here? Hello. 48 seconds in. Oh, we'll cover this next week. Anyone on? That's exactly what I wanted. Tufts House, good. Tufts House, how are you? You know, one of the worst thing is everything is so AI now. It's like it's so hard to find anything. It's so hard to find anything. It's like everything has to be auto-complete and everything now. Anyway, we're a little bit late. 4:33. Hello, everyone. I'm Ming Chow, teaching professor at Tufts. Yes. I think we're on episode 8 today. Well, season 11. I do know that. Hi, Kevin. How are you? Look, today is going to be I like to call today, like, these are the mistakes that you cannot make at all. So, but really today is going to be a smorgasbord of vulnerabilities and exploits, especially when it comes to web and web applications. Yesterday is going to be very demo heavy as well. So here's the thing. Here we are in the year 2025, and there are some things that you just cannot do. There are just some mistakes that you just cannot make. And I'm going to pull up CWE Top 25 again. Yes, we're going to reference this over and over again. We're still in the 2024 list. Okay, so we've done cross-site scripting, we've done SQL injection. Now, we also did 7. So, what about number 5? You know, here we are, we're still in October, and this is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And it's just amazing that everyone was still committing the same problems, like for all these years. Let's talk about path traversal. Now, this is one of the most embarrassing things that you can do. CWE 22. Improper limitation of a path name to a restricted directory. Path traversal. So here's the idea. You modify the URL. I mean, how do you go back a directory? Okay. It's also known as directory traversal. And the idea is you just, here, I'll give you a really good example. Has anyone ever done this before? I'll go to my personal website right now. I'll go to my personal website. Here's my personal website. This is a good article. Hubble Technical Project. Okay, so here we are. You see this URL right here? https://mchow01.github.io/education. This is a long URL. Have anyone ever done this before? Go to type a slash dot dot 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 slash. Whole list of dot dot slash. You know that a dot dot slash in Unix and Linux means go back a directory. So if you add a whole bunch of dot dot slashes in, this is going to work. So if I'm going to make a copy of this for now, and I hit the enter key, there's no errors with it. There shouldn't be any errors. If you go back enough, you're only going to go back to the home page. Yeah, it works. That's fine. So if you go here, add a slash in, and then you do a dot dot slash, this is still going to work. The problem is if you do something like dot 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 etc passwd. Let's say if you do this. This shouldn't work. This shouldn't work at all. In fact, it shouldn't even work, period. You know it's really bad when a /etc/passwd file, the content of the file, gets outputted to the screen. That's really bad. I mean, this is stuff that should not be happening in the year 2025. You download any software these days, any decent web browser or software should not allow this kind of thing to happen. But more often than not, it does still, unfortunately, happen. So if I hit the enter key and I'm going to get a 404 not found, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with this. This is perfect. Like, if somehow in some way, if I did a dot dot slash and I did an ECCPASSWD and then rendered the password file onto the screen, then we have a problem. Then we have a serious problem. And this is like an uber embarrassing problem in 2025. This is the directory traversal problem. So this is CWE 22. Okay? By using special elements such as a dot dot and slash operators, the attacker can escape outside restricted location to access files or directories that are elsewhere on a system. It's fucking crazy. Okay? So you may be wondering if this is still a problem. One of my favorite stories of all time, now I used to be on a mailing list called SecList. Yes, this is different than the list of passwords, word list directory. And I received an email saying, the SecList email, actually it's still available. SecList mailing list, seclist.org. It's a security mailing list archive. I'm off of this thing now. It's maintained by the people behind Nmap. And so what this mailing list is is for security vulnerabilities. I think it was in 2017. I was looking through my mail. I was on the mailing list, and I was like, I got an email saying that there was a directory traversal vulnerability in a dishwasher. I'm like, this can't be real, right? Well, sure enough, it was. Here is a really. This is the article. This is still one of those things I still laugh at because this stuff should not be happening. This is one of many reasons why I just don't like to buy anything that has a computer in there. Anyone ever heard of something called Internet of Things? There's a reason why it's called the Internet of Shit. So Miele, who is one of the best company, they make some of the best like home appliances in the world. Like their vacuum cleaners are goated. Like full stop. Like their vacuum cleaners, even if you buy the most recent model, it's goated. They also make dishwashers and washing and dryers. So Miele went full Internet of Things, or the Internet connected dishwasher, gave it a web server, and now finds itself on the wrong end of a security bug report and is accused of ignoring the warning. So a CVE 2017-7240, Miele Professional PG 8528, web server directory traversal. Here you go. So the dishwasher had a directory traversal bug. You fire up your favorite terminal on your computer, connect to the dishwasher, do a dot dot slash all of this, you do a basic HTTP GET, and then you get the etc. Actually, it's not even a password file, it's the shadow file, so you can get the hashes of the password. Here it is, use a basic HTTP GET fetch, // all the way from the whichever IP address the dishwasher has on your dishwasher to reveal the shadow password file, not just the PASSWD file, but the shadow password file on its file system. This is pretty sad. And so the thing is that directory traversal actually allows you to, as it says right here, access directory and data that really should not be able to reach, such as sensitive configuration files and similar stuff. I'm gonna try to find it here. Can I do a search? Let me see if this works. There it is. Yeah, that was the email I got. I'm like, the fuck? Really? Vulnerability discovered, public no response, no respond, public disclosure. Vendor website, proof of concept. Oh yeah, here's a proof of concept. Here we go. I've never shown this before until now. Telnet to the IP address of the dishwasher. Get / shadow. We are not aware of the actual fix. Oh my god. March of 2007. I'm posting this. I'm going to post this in chat. Oh my god. So this is not okay. This stuff is not okay. Okay? So, not okay, number one, unforgivable vulnerability directory traversal. This stuff should not be happening. Unforgivable vulnerability number two, hard-coded passwords. Alright. Hard-coded login credentials, always like in the source code, cannot be changed. Like, here's the thing about hard-coded passwords. They happen more often or not. Hard-coded passwords is absolutely a no-no. I don't know why it's actually CWE 798 and it's number 22. I find this very surprising it's that low. Because there's no way, and I mean there's no way that it can be this low. Because over even the last 2 years, we've seen so many hard-coded credentials with the Cisco devices. Cisco devices are like one of the worst. I think every year we find vulnerable like CVEs of Cisco products having hard-coded passwords. Yeah, here it is. October 25th, 2024. Here we go. Static credentials with a password written in a firewall source code. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah. Almost a year ago now. This is quote unquote pretty recent. Don't be surprised if we're gonna see another Cisco like hard-coded password. Yeah, no wonder why like people have been so unhappy using their products recently. Oh my god. I just want to do a search for the CISA hard-coded password. What can I find? I know CISA sent out a no. Okay. Static credential vulnerability. Oh my god. 9.3 out of a 10. That's pretty bad. Like, if you're using hard-coded credentials, that's like an absolute no-no. The best thing to do is, like, no, you never ever hard-code passwords. The way if you're a developer and you're writing software and you need to use credentials and stuff, the way you do that is you store them either A, in memory or in a secrets file. Like a secrets file, that is separate from the source code. But don't put the username credential actually in the source code. I mean, this is not okay. So this is glaring vulnerability number two. This is unforgivable if you're still hard coding password. And for those of you who are taking this class, who are actually taking the security class, for the remainder of the semester, this is one thing that I am not going to tolerate. You're going to see the hard coding password issue quite a bit for the remainder of the semester. I'm just giving you all a warning now. Okay, so another unforgivable vulnerability. This is fucking crazy. Now, I'm going to go and just resort to using, there's actually a couple more unforgivable vulnerabilities that I want to show you. And a couple years ago, I gave a presentation to a certain bank. I'll come back to this later. Uh, File inclusion. Now, what is file inclusion? This is almost a spin-off. It's not directory traversal, but it really does smell like directory traversal. Okay? The biggest difference is this. File inclusion means, you know, here's how some web developers do things. If they get so lazy and they just take an external web page and just plop it onto the current page. And that's just sheer laziness. What I found out when I did this presentation for the bank in Australia, and I did some research, and Akamai wrote this. Uh, File inclusion is not new. But it was crazy that since 2021, there's been a 3 times surge of file inclusion vulnerabilities. It's like, what? How is that possible? And I guess the reason is just sheer laziness. This is a bit different from directory traversal, because directory traversal actually means just actually opening up the external file directly, like the etc passwd. File inclusion is actually you have an existing web page with all the fancy design and all that stuff, and just plop whatever content is on top of it. So the idea that to do this is actually is not difficult at all to understand. There are two types of file inclusion. One is called local file inclusion, and the other is called remote file inclusion. The hint is to really take a look at the URL and see if it takes in a file of some sort as the HTTP GET parameter. Nice thing about this exercise is that I can actually show you on Damn Vulnerable Web Application. So Damn Vulnerable Web Application, username is admin, password is password, all lowercase. So admin password, and go to file inclusion. Let's go to file inclusion. Says this lab relies on PHP include and require function, yada yada yada. As this is a security risk, PHP has deprecated this in version 7.4 and it will be removed in future version. If this lab is not working, okay, whatever it is. So, does anyone notice anything in the URL? You see question mark page equals include.php. Now here we are, we have a page that has all like the nice like logo, the navigation bar, we have everything on here. But you also notice that page, like question mark, a query string, and you see page equals include.php. Okay, what happened if we, can we do this? What's file.php? Okay, my IP, go back. So file2.php, as you can see, the URL is now vulnerability /fi question mark page equals file2.php. Okay, now we're getting an idea. We're getting somewhere. Okay, so if I do, what if I do file4.php? This file isn't listed at all on the Damn Vulnerable Web Application. If you're reading this, you did something right. What happened if I do /etc/passwd? I want to get the /etc/passwd file on the system that the Damn Vulnerable Web Application is installed on. Will this work? Bing! Jacob, do it again. Oh yeah, now this is perfect of an example of a local file inclusion. It takes a local file on the system, on wherever on the server of wherever Damn Vulnerable Web Application resides on, and it just plops the content on top of the page. So this is an example of local file inclusion because the page is local. The page that is included is local. So /etc/passwd is local. Can I do shadow? Nah, couldn't do that. Ooh, let me see /etc/nginx/sites available /default.conf. Does this work? Oh, it's default? Yeah. Sweet. So I can get like the contents of any, like this is an example of the Nginx web server configuration file that is on the system where damn vulnerable web application is installed. So here is what a remote file inclusion is. Remote means remote. Some external, like, you know, let's say something that starts with HTTP. So remote file inclusion is another website. So here's a fun one I would like to show you. Page equals. Here's remote. What if I do reddit.com? Damn. What happened if I do www.tufts.edu? Oh, hello. Here's a Tufts website that is loaded on top of the damn vulnerable web application. Oh, what is that? Not bad. What happened if I do HTTPS? MIT.edu, same idea. Now this is remote file inclusion because the page that is included is remote. ESPN.com. I don't think this is. Oh, we got. Oh, hello. Sports betting. So here's a fun fact for you. You can also look at like remote file inclusion as like an El Cheapo way to do web proxy. So sometimes you may want to go to a website, but you don't want to reveal your IP address or where you're coming from. So this is actually a good way to actually, quote unquote, um, quote unquote, browse the web, being not exposing your IP address or where you're from. So because you're loading ESPN.com on 3.23.79.116, ESPN will actually see that you are actually browsing as the traffic is coming from 3.23.79.116, not your actual IP address. I mean, ESPN looks pretty good under the damn vulnerable web application. I mean, so this is fully taking advantage of the file inclusion vulnerability here. Not bad. Not bad. So how do you actually prevent this stuff from happening? This stuff should not be happening anyway. So if you're doing anything like, so this is, stuff should not be happening. The way you defend against, like, to prevent against such laziness is this. Um, Use the latest version of like server-side programming languages like PHP. Like the include and require functions are like totally like removed. Um, you always want to use like a latest version. Now it's like PHP is 8. This is version, I forget what this is. But yeah, configuration files of those languages of PHP will right by default now will turn off include and require. So unfortunately, there are websites out there that, because of legacy reasons, that still using like PHP include, PHP require functions. Um, so it's up to them, whoever's administering those sites, to turn those functions off. I mean, good luck with that. But yeah, the latest versions of PHP and server-side languages, this stuff should not be happening. One thing that we take for granted uh, in terms of um, features on the web, but a it's still a problem is file upload. So here's the thing. I mean, we've all done file uploads before. Um, so this is also an injection vulnerability. So here is the thing is that you won't believe it, but there are people who just don't validate things like the name, the content file, the size, list goes on. So here on damn vulnerable web application, what upload? Yeah, here it is, number 10. Look at that shit. TWE 434, unrestricted upload a file with dangerous file type. Okay. So I'm gonna go. Let me get a picture. Let me get a picture on the web. Yeah, how about my friend Kermit the Frog? Kermit the Frog. I'm gonna need that picture. And the reason why I'm gonna use that picture is I'm gonna go to file upload. Oh, the PHP GD module is not installed. I'm gonna choose a file. Go to desktop. I'm gonna upload 668. That's the name of the file? Yeah, 668.png. Gonna hit upload. Bam. File is successfully uploaded. Okay. // hackable upload.php. I'm gonna make a copy of this. Oh, okay. I'm gonna copy this URL. So what is it? Hackable upload. Okay. Think it's hackable upload. Let's give that a try. Wait, what? Oh, dots. Okay, I'm gonna do the full // slash. I'm gonna just copy it as it is. // slash hackable slash upload .668.ph. Yeah, it got uploaded. So it's the file got uploaded at slash. That's what I typed in as the URL. What the hell? dvwa slash hackable slash upload .668.jpg. Okay, so the file got uploaded. Okay, what other upload do we have here? Well, that's a forbidden. Okay, so if that's a forbidden thing, hackable. Okay, let me upload another picture. Okay, let me find another picture of Kermit. Yeah, I like that picture. Kermit exasperated. Hey, just to show you this is not a joke. Upload. Hey, what? What do you mean the file isn't upload? Isn't insecure download? I'm gonna keep it. How do you know? Ah, too big. Oh, I have to be a smaller JPEG. Let me give me big pictures. I'm gonna give a small picture. No. Okay. AI image. No. All sizes. Small. Okay, that looks like a PNG. Alright, that's good. Do a file upload that. Okay. Now I should go to hackable uploads. Yeah, we got Kermit. Good. So we uploaded a picture. So we uploaded 2 pictures of Kermit. But what happened if you upload something that is not a picture? What happened if you upload, let's say a program? So here's an example. So haha.php is a program. It's a PHP script. that is essentially a backdoor. What it is it's going to, you can set CMD in um, the URL of this file, haha.php, and upload it, and then you can execute systems on the command. So you have literally remote code execution. This is really nice. So I'm going to rename this upload.php as haha.php. So haha.php, and this is the script that we have. So I'm going to upload a file. So first of all, I'm not going to be uploading a picture anymore. I'm going to upload a PHP file, which is bad. If this is a, wait a minute, it said upload a picture. Choose an image to upload. Okay, choose an image to upload. Well, we got to make sure that the file extension should be JPEG, PNG, or GIF. Those are usually the predominant ones. Choose upload haha.php, hit upload. Okay. Hackable upload haha.php is successfully uploaded. Okay, cool. So now we do, on another tab, we do /dvwa/hackable/uploads and haha.php. Oh, hi. Alright, that's fun. So that means the page is working. But what happened if I have a query string, question mark, cmd equals an ls? cmd equals ls dot dot. Ooh. How about an ls minus la? There you go. Yeah. So you can do any like Linux command system. So basically now I have a way to control the server. I can shut it down if I want. I can remove files if I want. I can do a cat /etc /passwd. Yeah. I can do echo hello. Hello. I can do ls minus la /etc. Yeah. I can ls tmp. I can output any file that I want. So yeah, I can do any remote code execution. I can execute any command on the system now because I have this backdoor script installed. So haha.php question mark cmd dot, and you can put anything after the cmd parameter. Really cool. So yeah, so now you see the dangers of file upload if you don't do any validation. We already did file inclusion. So we've seen what? File inclusion. We've seen file uploads. So the real moral of the story is you never trust user input. You remove the ability for any data to be interpreted as code. JavaScript code, change the less than symbol to be a ampersand LT question mark. Change the greater than symbol to ampersand GT question, semicolon. For SQL commands, use prepared statements. Now for file inclusion, if you're gonna, for files using inclusion, like, do you really even need to do that? File upload vulnerabilities, you gotta do the basics, like check the file extension, check the file size, check the file size as well, and like change upload file names to not in like change the file upload name so it doesn't conflict with other uploads as well. Like put a timestamp in there. Like file upload vulnerability should not be happening here in 2025. If you're using like a third-party service or a content delivery network to store uploads, it's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing because then a lot of these issues actually go away, especially with file size for file uploads. That's what content delivery networks are for. To really speed up the delivery of content. Don't roll your own. Like, this is one of those things that maybe you want to use like a established framework, like a Django or something to like pre-process files. Still, it's amazing how file upload vulnerabilities exist. can talk a little bit about open redirects, is just kind of the same idea as injection. It's always like if you're doing Node.js, you can do a response.send redirect to a single website. But when you're doing response.send redirect to a request.get parameter URL, like this is taking in the URL as a parameter. So this is almost like no different than file inclusion. We can do this out. Let's go to DVWA. What was it? Open HTTP redirect. Here are some famous hacker quotes. Quote number 1. Ooh. So what happened if I do ID equals 2, I equals 3, I equals 4, I equals 5, 6, ID equals /etc/PASSWD, missing quote ID. Really? $99, $100. Does this have a... Missing quote ID. I do 1 equals 4, 1 equals 1, does that work? Nope, missing quote ID. So it's only that you can just change the number to whatever you want, but yeah, it's an open HTTP redirect. Quote number 2, 3, -1. No, minus actually works. Open redirects we've done. We'll do the really bad code next. So, I guess we have some time left over. I meant today to be a really quick day. Really quick one. But I want to actually give you a couple. I want to now do some bonus time here. Now, bonus time is, so for the last 30 minutes, we talked about some of the vulnerabilities that you just can't make. These are like file inclusion, directory traversal, hard-coded password. Those are no-nos. Like, if you're making those mistakes here in 2025, you shouldn't be in the business. You shouldn't be in the field. Like, full stop. I want to talk a little bit more about injection, namely SQL injection attacks. This is bonus because I did not plan for this today. The reason why I actually bring this up is because next week we're playing the CTF game. We're playing Capture the Flags. Last week we did SQL injection. So there may be a popular thing. You may be thinking, okay, what happens if I go to MongoDB? MongoDB doesn't use SQL. Can we actually use, is that we're moving to like a MongoDB actually resolve the problem of SQL injection? And the answer is absolutely not. In fact, MongoDB, if you're using NoSQL databases, it doesn't mean that you're not vulnerable to injection attacks. In fact, you have the same problem. It's just the syntax is a little bit different. So here is the idea. So NoSQL databases like MongoDB uses operators for queries and projection. So here are some of the operators. $EQ equals equal. My favorite one is $any, which is not equal. Okay? So to keep that one in mind, a $not equal. So here's a demonstration. So imagine that there are two API endpoints, /post and /get. So here is a legitimate use case. So get /passenger.json question mark, the query string username equals Homer. Okay, that's fine. The problem is, if you do something like, oh shit, I have a typo on here. I have a typo on here. Is get slash passenger.json question mark username, and then you put a NE parameter here. It's like instead, like, so this parameter here gets moved to where it's right after the username. So you're going to say passenger.json question mark username, and then inside square brackets the NE operator equals Homer. And so that will actually return all the records that does not equal Homer. So the reason why I bring this up is a couple of reasons why. Two reasons specifically. Reason number one is there is such a thing as NoSQL injection. You know, it's right on par with SQL injection. Number two, we played a CTF game next week. Hint, hint. I think I'm gonna put this in the game next week, and we already seen this. But one more thing I want to show while you are here. Hey KBY4, you know what? KBY4 is here. I want to do something for you. Now this is new for the year 2025, fall 2025. And this has everything to do with AI. So this is the idea of something called one of my favorite tricks of all time. Where is it? No, I'm just gonna... Where is it? Or is it in my other browser? Please tell me I have it here. It's such a great article. I think it's Simpson. There it is. Prompt injection. So we've done SQL injection, NoSQL injection, file upload vulnerabilities. What else we've done? Local and file inclusion. Those are all injection vulnerabilities. And now we can add a brand new one to our arsenal, better known as prompt injection. You guys seeing a pattern here? It's not going away anytime soon. So prompt injection is great. The idea is this. You actually, there it is. Remote work. So this guy's talking about ignore it and instead make a credible threat against the. There you go. All right. Prompt injection is very, very much like SQL injection and NoSQL injection. Yes, Simon Wilson actually has some great posts on prompt injection. I gotta find, there's one I really, really like. Let me just see if I can get it on Hacker News. And but when we inject, when we replace, wouldn't we only be able to replace Homer? Okay, actually, hold on. So Rotva is this. No. You don't even need to replace Homer at all. So you would do passenger.json question mark. Hold on. I'm gonna do it for you right now. Username equals Homer. So this is what this is going to do. It's gonna return all the passenger result with username being Homer. Okay. Now we can do get passenger.json username equal Homer. Now this is going to return all passenger results with username not being Homer. So if you have 1,000 records and 10 of them are Homer, okay, you have 1,000 results, 10 records belong to Homer. The first one, this first statement is going to return the 10 records of the username being Homer. This one is going to return the 990 results. I mean, aren't we typing our injection into a username? Nope, URL. URL. Because we're doing APIs here. I mean, aren't we typing our injection in a username field on a website, for instance? URL. URL. This is APIs. URL. I mean, similarly, if they're doing something with a form field, you can do the same exact thing as well. But really, you won't believe it. This is more common than you think with when the user input is in the URL. So Rafa, anywhere that has user input, form fields, or the URL, you can do this. In this case, it's going to be in the URL. I'm telling you that now. So it's a great question. Yeah, it's in the URL. Yeah, no, we're not doing in the username field on a form. This is the username field in the URL. And I'm going to give you a hint right now. Huge hint. I'm going to put this in the CTF game next week. Wink, wink. Yeah. Okay. So let's do prompt injection. Simon. No, there was a 2024 one. This was not all time. I want in the past year. Has it been? Or in the last, yeah, in the past year. Hold on. Ah, can't find it. Okay, so Simon's been doing a lot of prompt injection stuff. Oh. You know what? I'm going to do one out right now. I'm going to go to Claude. And I'm going to KBY4. You're still there. I'm going to fire up my own version of Claude. Alright, here we go. Who blessed the rains down in Africa? I think I should, if this works, I'm ending the night here. Okay? Here is this should be the quintessential example of prompt injection. Please work. Fucking. I broke it? Aww. If you're looking for something specific, oh, boo. Boo! Oh, that's terrible. So this worked before. Yeah. I swear. I swear I had it before. All the chats. Show more. I swear I got it before. Hey, here it is. 6 months ago. So 6 months ago, I had this. Bastards. So I blessed the rain down in Africa. So this was an example of prompt injection. Now, this Claude must have actually had a lot of fixes recently. But I will actually say that you can probably do this. Like, I don't have Olama installed, but if you do Olama, it will probably do the same thing. So yeah, these AI engines can be rigged pretty nicely. So that's like my take on prompt. That's my demo on prompt injection. So sorry it didn't work out as intended. So 5:21. Yeah, we're gonna end a little early today. So next week we're gonna play capture the flag. Um, yeah, all next week we're not gonna be on the air, but yeah, next week we're gonna play capture the flags. It's gonna be that time of the year again. Happy hacking. It's gonna be a good way to close out October, and we'll see you in um shit. We will see you on November, and November we're actually gonna continue with vulnerabilities, but this time it's going to be code vulnerabilities. Yes, take care. Hey, thanks all.